Hey folks, Michaela here, checking in. I am on the other side of the lake in La Fortuna, Arenal area, Lake Arenal. I'm staying in this dome here that's got the bed, and over here's the shower and the toilet, with this porch. And you gotta forgive my mess here in the kitchen. I'm hanging my silk-ish, I don't think it's actually silk, but I have court today. So fun, my previous landlord decided to sue me, even though, because I was trying to find a new tenant, but he took over the listing and put 18 months instead of 6 months. And it just really screwed up the listing. And then after I just, asserted my rights, he came after me for all these charges of, repairs and shit that weren't there until after I said, hey, you messed up the listing, I'm no longer responsible here. So fortunately, the judge granted me a remote hearing, so I will be doing that today. It took a minute. They originally weren't going to do it. It said it's an in-person court only, but they ended up granting me the remote hearing. So I have had a little difficulty finding solid Wi-Fi because I do therapy online. So the past couple days it's been a little spotty, which is annoying, but I actually moved my Starlink over and plugged it in at my car. So hopefully that will be sufficient for today and we'll get that knocked out. I have a pretty strong case, so feeling good about that. But yeah, I wanted to show you guys this space where I'm staying. It's pretty cool. Come down here, there's a cow over here sometimes, or a couple. And these are plantain trees. You can see the plantains there. I had one that fell yesterday, which is not cool, but anyway, so this is the spot. If you continue on down here into the jungle, there's a little natural pool that they've dug out, and I don't know what that is. Haven't seen that before. It's probably been here the whole time, but so I like this place, but the host has been horrible. First, there's these motion lights, and as you can see, it's LED. There's one there and one there. So when I got here, this place is lit up like a fucking parking lot, and nobody wants that, especially if you're in the jungle. So the first night, and if you pull the curtains in the dome, it doesn't keep it out. So ended up fixing that a couple nights in. And then the lighting, all of the bulbs are bright LED, and I'm very sensitive to that. And these guys don't work. So, a little frustrating there. And then the host wanted it in cash. So my first night here, I waited for many hours for them to come and get the cash, and they never did. So if I would have been here on vacation, I'd have been pissed, because that would have been a night wasted, right? And so the next day I wake up and there's big electric trucks coming through. They're putting in other domes, I guess. So the whole place was surrounded by like strange men, and that's not a great feeling. Thank God for my dogs. And then after that, what was it? Asked if it was my day off before work and I was about to, take a little nap. And so she asked me, hey, can they come by and turn off your power in the dome? Or first they asked, can some guys come under the dome? They need to run something under there. And I'm like, sure. So they came and did that. And then the next day they asked, hey, can we come and turn off your power? And I'm like, for how long? And they said, for an hour and a half. Now guys, it's really hot here, and I can't leave the dogs in the dome for an hour and a half with no AC. So that means that we got to go somewhere, get out of the way for an hour and a half. Like, I was going to take a nap. I was resting, and I'm very private and introverted. So like, I don't like people just showing up or sudden change of plans or shit like that. And plus I'm a guest here. I shouldn't be dealing with having to walk around their construction and schedule and all that shit. So I'm like, this isn't cool, but come on. Well, after an hour and a half of communicating, she decided, okay, we weren't going to do it today. So then she's like, when can we come? And so I gave her some times because I'm working and things like that. So she's like, okay, we'll be there at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. And this was like 2 days ago or yesterday. I think this was yesterday. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I get up, do my morning thing, but then I'm, preparing for people to be in my space at 8 in the morning. I start work at 9 and nobody comes. She doesn't text me, nothing. So I'm like, what the hell? And then the Wi-Fi situation, not cool because it's impacting my sessions. And I don't know if you've been in therapy on Zoom, but if you get a glitch, it's it's got an impact. So at this point, I reach out and I said, hey, I was expecting you at 8 o'clock this morning. Where were you? Oh, the electrician didn't. And then I also put on another note, the Wi-Fi here is really impacting my work. I'm supposed to stay here for 2 weeks. So I said, how about you refund me my second week and I'll just leave on Friday. And so she responded, but she only responded to the electrician part. She said, well, the electrician never came, so I wasn't able to come over. Girl, text me, tell me something. You don't just not say anything. And then she didn't even respond to the Wi-Fi part or the refund part. So I reached out again. This is ridiculous. What is going on here? And then she said, well, we don't usually do refunds, but we'll refund you $140, which, it was seven nights left on my stay. So not cool. I just, at this point, want to get the hell out of here. And part of me wants to threaten, hey, give me back the money of the nights I didn't stay and I don't write a review, or we do this and you write a review. I still may do that. I want to see if the 140 shows up. And then I may still say that, but I'm a little nervous to say that because my car is over here and then my animals. So I don't know how people might retaliate to certain things. And my mind thinks about, I don't need anything happen to my car or my pets. But it's also a chunk of money that would be nice to have back. So this has been, it's beautiful. It's been cool because, it's been raining a lot. So being in the dome when it's raining, the sounds, the jungle, I love it. I love cooking out here at night when, it makes me feel like, Jane and, so Jane and Tarzan. But this has been my worst rental experience since I've left the States. Maybe. There was another one when I got stuck by the farmers' protest in Guadalupe, Victoria, where they had musty sheets, and that was kind of gross. And then he accused my animals of peeing all over the place, which they have never done. They would not do. Not even close. So that was, a shitty situation. But this, I would have liked to have tried to stick it out for 2 weeks, but my blood pressure from all of this is just not cool. And I don't necessarily want my money going to somebody like this either, but I guess she's going to keep part of it anyway. So that's what's been going on. I do have my hearing here this afternoon in addition to some work, and then tomorrow I will hit the road again and head to Puerto Viejo, and that's on the Caribbean side of Costa Rica. I'm excited for that. Where I was staying before in the white expat community, she was like, oh, it's dangerous. And I said, girl, I just drove down from Texas by myself. I think I'll be okay. I don't want to be arrogant about it, but she's also, I could just tell by the security setup that she had where I was staying that she's a little paranoid. But I was reading up on it, and it's really more like petty theft and things like that. Things I would have experienced in Mexico or other places that I've been. So, I'm not saying I'm above being, subject to some things, but I'm also made it this far. So hopefully I can continue to keep my wits about me and stay safe. But that's the update for now, and I will check in again soon. Bye.